from the days of a communist dictator. To the 21st century, where feudal and modern meet, in Albania, when the past and present collide, there are, more often than not, extremes of calm and chaos.
Betim para arkivolit të Timbiri, që drejtësinë për të do ta çojë deri në fund.
It's a country trying to reinvent itself as a tourist destination, hoping to say goodbye to stereotypes.
All people say, "What? You go to Albania? That's very crazy."
But ending people's prejudices won't be easy, given the innocent Albanians who are not uncommonly caught in the crossfire.
How many bullets were fired?
27 bullets. From AK, how you say, Kalashnikov?
Kalashnikov,
AK-47.
And then there are those eager to delve into a military past, perhaps best left alone.
Everyone here knows that in these abandoned places there is nothing secret. I am not connected with Russian government.
Welcome to Beyond Borders. In the Albanian village of Gerdec, half an hour's drive from the capital Tirana, two old friends, Zamira and Afrodita, are remembering. Family photographs, old clothes, and a school workbook dated 2 days before this, on the 15th of March 2008. It was an old munitions factory. They were supposed to be making the weapons safe. Zamira's son, Erison, was playing nearby. He would have been 23 this year. They found only that one shoe. Her father and sister-in-law also died. Afrodita lost her husband, who was helping with the decommissioning.
We're all together.
This is where it happened, a crater now filled in with concrete 100 metres long and 30 metres deep. They were trying to safely dispose of unwanted ammunition, 400 tons of explosives. The sound was heard in the capitals of other Balkan countries, and 26 people lost their lives. Until 2023, the man they say was criminally responsible for the catastrophe, the former Defence Minister Fatmir Mediu, had avoided any official blame and still denies any wrongdoing. Now SPAC, which is Albania's special prosecution against corruption and organised crime, is pressing for a trial with lawyers for the families. Zamira calls it state murder.
What does it do to your heart to be here?
Kam plagos edhe më rikujtojnë aq shumë. Zemra ime është një plaga e fundit e fëmijës tim edhe nuk shërohet, rrjedh gjak gjatë gjithë kohës.
Ky vend këtu është i larë me gjak. Edhe kjo bimësia që lulëzon, poshtë ka gjak. Bim sa qetësi kanë ata që e bën gjithë të gjë, sa gjumin rehat e bëjnë, a kanë fëmijë, a kanë familjar, a kanë ndjeshmëri, emocione, kujtu nuk e di, nuk e kuptoj dot.
Sepse ne kemi 15 vjet dyerve të gjykatave, kurse njerëzit tanë i ekzekutuan pas një vendim gjykate, pa fajtor, pa qenë fajtor, vetëm thjesht se ishin në punë, punuan.
Do some people tell you it's time to move on and not keep fighting?
Ka shumë persona që thonë boll u lodhe sepse nuk gjende drejtësia, por unë vendosjen e drejtësisë për Timbir, për babain dhe për kunatën e kam vënë në motivin e jetës time, sepse unë kam bërë një betim para arkivolit të Timbiri, që drejtësinë për të do ta çoj deri në fund. Që çdo institucion ne nuk e kemi personale me asnjëri, ne i kemi me institucione shtetërore, me ministrin e mbrojtjes që funksiononte në atë kohë, që i nxorri këto harë. thjesht të mbaj përgjegjësi gjithë secili për punën që bën. Ne këtë kërkojmë. Kjo vendoset drejtësia, sepse Gërdeci ndodhi nga babëzia për para. Babëzia për para solli marrjen e jetës njerëzore.
The allegation is that there were fatal shortcuts in the Gerdec's decommissioning, and corruption is something we will return to because this is about how a country still rooted in the medieval is trying to meet the modern day. How a place taking more and more tourist dollars is still a country where being very, very careful is the best way of ensuring you arrive home safely. Albania is on a sales mission, and we are in Berat, the so-called city of 1,000 windows, where legends of surrounding mountains have been told for centuries.
Shpirag and Tomori were two brothers that fall in love with a beautiful girl, which was the castle. They fight each other and they killed each other. And from the cries of the castle, it was created the river of Osumi.
Many people think it's very dangerous to come here and many crimes. Most people did, like my family, my mother, my boss. I didn't worry too much because I know some people that traveled here before. So everybody told me it was really safe to travel here and people were really friendly and helpful. So that's what we're experiencing.
Well, I think when the country gets more visitors, people will see that it isn't that criminal. Even our guides we met here, they also say the criminality here is actually there's no criminality. People that visit us, we see them as family, so we protect them. So I think, when we tell our stories, when we get home, it will get better and better.
All people say, what? You go to Albania? That's very crazy. Huh? And no, it's very normal here, I think.
Yes, we thought about the kids, if something will happen, if there's a hospital or something like that. So normal things, yes. But so we have a pharmacy, a really big pharmacy in our car, yes. So it was the first we thought about. But it's okay. It's really, really good.
I tell you, it's busy here, isn't it? It's busy.
Yeah.
How busy are you?
Me, 2 or 3 tours per day. The countries that are coming now, mostly nowadays, are from Spain, from Germany, from Arabic places, also from Asia, from Japan, from China, a lot, from all around the world. Last week I had some clients from Costa Rica. They were my first clients from South America.
What do they tell you about Albania when they're here?
They loved Albania. Albania was not that country they imagined or heard about. We heard Albanians connected with crime, but Albanians people are very, very popular, very welcoming people, very warm people.
But it's true then, a lot of Albanians are connected with crime.
Yeah.
There are gangsters.
Not all of them, but a country can be defined only with a small group. You need to come in Albania to visit the country and to know more about the country.
Albania was labelled the North Korea of Europe, locked away from the outside world for more than 50 years by a communist dictator determined that everyone was out to get him and his country. Enver Hoxha is said to have used this phone to call his military commanders in this, his own personal bunker. And it would have been here that he and others would have come if he felt that the country was under imminent attack, or was actually already under attack from its enemies, which included not only the United States, but he felt perhaps the Soviet Union too, because he couldn't trust them. He felt his voice permanently on the radio. They'd have come into this meeting room to get their orders. Up on the walls we see pictures of Hoxha and his Prime Minister, Mehmet Shehu, a man who committed suicide, so they say, after a disagreement with his boss. in 1983. I'm here to talk about security matters with Edvald Zotto. Jolly nice to see you,
Welcome.
Edvald. 15-year army veteran and now a security analyst. Unfair or not unfair, Albania's reputation for gangsterism and weaponry and crime and danger. What do you say?
Well, it has been a period where if war started, each Albanian would have access to at least several weapons. So, but that was a long time ago. We still have around weapons that were stolen from army barracks back in 1997. But as latest figures show, these weapons are just a few, and they are less and less being used to commit crimes.
What about goods smuggled into the country through Albania's ports or across borders that, I mean, take the Kosovo border, it's virtually unpatrolled. It's easy to get backwards and forwards. The two countries want it that way. Does a lot of unwanted weaponry come in like that?
Yes, we can see this in police seizures. So, and we see that the police, when they seize weapons from criminals, we see modern weapons being smuggled in the country.
This bunker is a tourist attraction. So too the coastal town of Durrës, the closest resort to the capital, Tirana. In April 2023, in Durrës port, 200 rounds of ammunition and Glock pistols were seized in a British-registered van bound for the United Kingdom. The same SPAC corruption squad mentioned earlier said the weapons were for Albanian gangs in London. And it's while we are in Durrës that we're told of gang turf wars just up the road in Fusha Kruja. The men with baseball bats and at least one handgun were in a bar filming themselves attacking rivals. Rivals who had actually warned police what was likely to happen. The police apparently said, "That's not our problem." The assailants were related to a local member of parliament. He quit, and then Albania's interior minister was sacked. The fight against crime and corruption is not going to be easy, say those who once again would like to have the power to change this country.
Albania has become not only the main producer and the supplier of cannabis to Europe. Albania has become one of the main entry points of cocaine to Europe. And according to reports from State Department and other, we have become an operational base for international organized crime.
The point is they couldn't...
About corruption.
You couldn't fix
yes.
it. They could.
No, we did. Corruption is not something that you fix once and for all. It's not a vaccine. You have, every government has to, this is a challenge for every government.
At Albania's most popular TV station in Tirana, the crime reporter Anila Hoxha, who was sent the bar pictures by the gang members, talks us through a gun attack on her station in March of 2023, in which a security guard was killed. How many bullets were fired?
27 bullets. From AK, how you say, Kalashnikov?
Kalashnikov, AK-47.
It was midnight, 27 March, and they put in this place all this. After that, and it was full of signs of bullets.
Oh, look at these bullet holes here.
Those are the signs of bullets, yeah.
And they've come through from the other side.
Yeah.
And the poor man was standing, where was he? He was just here.
Is the place there?
So the guard was standing just here where you've now put a plant.
He heard the shooting.
Yeah.
And probably he go out.
Yeah.
And when he go out, and the police think this is something like, the bullet that go not directly but
deflected,
ricochet. And he go out, he was there.
Yeah.
Because at night the guards stay inside and they control often.
And this here.
And in this place here, he died. Where is the place now? Is the place where the pal died.
And you put this here
Yeah,
in memory of him?
Before 3 days it was full of bouquet with roses, white roses. Now we put here for not parking anyone here because it's the place that when he died, and we take something for memory.
What does this mean for people who work here? Are they frightened?
Yeah, but still doing mission of journalism. Krimi prek drejt për drejt jetën e çdo qytetari në Shqipëri. Krimi kryesor që prek dhe kërcënon jetën dhe marrëvajtjen e jetës së shqiptarëve është pastrimi I parave që vjen dhe që burojnë nga krimi organizuar. E dyta që prek drejt për drejt ka patur atentate me armë zjarri në të cilat qytetarët të thjeshtë kanë qenë viktima të një atentati krejtërasor. Dhe për këtë arsye them që krimi edhe I organizuar e prek jetën e qytetarëve shqiptar. Zakonisht bandat dhe grupet kriminale ndeshen me njëra tjetrën. Dhe zakonisht grupet kriminale të cilat e kanë sofistikuar aktivitetin dhe jashtë Shqipërisë fillojnë dhe I lajnë hesapet këtu në Shqipëri.
Anila then switches to English and tells me about a teacher who was sacked and then told he could have his job back if he paid a bribe of thousands of euros.
When I spoke with him, he told me that I can speak with names because I have afraid about my life and my family life here in Albania. But he told all the story, all the things that he was teaching in Albania, he fired from work and everything.
Who told him to pay 5,000 euros?
Someone from corrupt men, corrupt people. We have a lot of problems with
Corrupt
corruption.
people,
Yeah.
but corrupt people from the authorities, the government, from where?
From local authority.
Local authority
Yeah.
told him to pay 5,000
For
to keep
come
his
back.
job.
For come back at his job because he get fired and they say if you want to come back in your work you needed to pay 5,000 euros for staying. He didn't have so much money and he decided to go out from Albania from this reason. He said, okay, I'm take the risk. I'm going out from Albania for this reason.
From Tirana to Durrës to Fusha Kruja and beyond, they have difficulty keeping the more obvious problems out of the headlines. Take, for example, this remote northern Albania, right on the border with Kosovo, and an incident that happened just a few weeks before we got here. A gun battle between people traffickers and border police. From every direction, it appears there are those adding to Albania's reputation as a country where there's both a good time to be had and a bad time to be avoided, as Svetlana Timofeyeva discovered. She's the Russian Instagrammer whose videos of often sensitive sites attracted a global following. She came to Albania, she says, for a short holiday, but has now been here for more than a year after poking around a closed military site that she thought was no longer off limits. 6 months in solitary, 3 months in a female detention centre, and now simply banned from leaving the country while her case goes to court. She secretly sketched where she was kept locked up, and here for the first time she shares her drawings with us.
Alone, in solitary confinement. I was alone in my room. It was not allowed to talk even to police. So it was not allowed to talk to anyone. They told me, they lied to me that I cannot call from this hospital, I cannot call to Russia. So I was not able to call to my family. We were not looking for secret information. We are just exploring abandoned places.
Did they say you were working for Russia?
At first they thought that we were working for Russia. Everyone here knows that in these abandoned places there is nothing secret. I am not connected with Russian government. This country, Albania, wants to join European Union. If they want to join European Union, they need to take care of people's rights, of human rights. They shouldn't keep people in jail without any proofs. Why? How is it possible that local laws allow the police to keep person in jail for 9 months? 9 months, without any proofs.
Could what happened to you happen to anybody who's a tourist in Albania if they make one mistake?
I think that our story happened this way not because we are just tourists, but just because we are Russians. Because you know that the next day after we were arrested in one abandoned factory, next day another group of urban tourists were arrested in another factory that is also ex-military, but they were from Czech Republic. They had the European Union passports, and they were released the same day, or maybe next day. I don't remember. But for them, it was nothing. They were let out next day. They were even able to use their aircraft tickets back.
There are more than 170,000 concrete bunkers across the country, and there are so many dangerous and disused military sites that it can be hard to know precisely where it's safe or sensible to go. Svetlana was arrested at the old arms factory in Gramsh, 30 kilometers in a straight line from Polichan, where they also once made ammunition for AK-47s, hand grenades and mines.
It's completely secure, and there are lots of these, lots of tunnels that go for miles underground.
We're here to talk to two men, one of whom worked for decades at Polichan.
Unë kam prodhuar fillimisht kapsolet, të gjitha llojet e kapsoleve të armëve të ushtarake. Pastaj i kam mbushur këto. Mas 20 vjetësh kam vajtë i kam mbushur. Ishte puna më e vështirë për t'i mbushur se sa për t'i prodhuar. Se atje kishe shumë rrezike për të vrarë veten. Edhe janë vrarë, edhe njerëz, e kanë vdekur. Edhe janë plagosur. Shumë copa, shumë njerëz kanë copa për trupt që pëlqiste edhe hynë edhe sot nuk u kanë dalë. I kanë copat vogla në për tulet. Kurse u merja 8.000 lek edhe 1.000 organizim në nëndë. Por kur dole në pension, dole me 137.000 lek. Që janë 137.000 lek për mua? Me fjalë, unë vetëm i lache diabeti marë 50.000 lek tash.
Was he perhaps happier under the old regime, under Enver Hoxha, communism, because it provided something regular and he doesn't get that now?
Si mund të thej mund tashti që unë isha atere keq dhe jam mirë tashi, për mua ishte më mirë atere.
It's not long before we're asked to move on by the military police.
No.
If you have...
Do viti që është bërë se na erdhi raportimi gjilardi.
So they get a report from somewhere that we were doing.
Sa jare janë agjendat e krimit me këtu.
After joining NATO in 2009, Albania said it would destroy its old Soviet-era weapons and ammunition, and that by 2017 the job would be nearly finished. But the former head of Tirana police tells us there are still many guns unaccounted for.
In Albania have a lot of weapons again, more than 200,000 arms that are from the 1997. To find the weapons, it's easy in Albania. Not only the arms of the 1997, but on the new arms, sophistication arms that are coming from Europe.
He suggests the government offers to buy back the weapons. The OSCE, that's the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, told us that ridding Albania of illegal weapons is going to plan. Albania's tourist figures are rising at an extraordinary rate. The number of visitors in January 2023 was nearly double that of a year earlier, at almost 500,000. Its beauty can take the breath away. It's cheap and the people are generous. But don't ask Albanians about justice, about corruption, about fairness. And don't go taking what you think are fascinating photographs, unless, that is, you don't mind staying quite a lot longer than you'd planned.